was mortified. It wasn't my first rejection. I had already had the experience of my first crush wanting to be just friends. But this rejection crushed me. It was public, disappointing, and humiliating for all to see. On the other hand, I remember the day that changed it all. The first time that I really unlocked my mojo and let it fly. I was in my early 20s, a long time ago, and I was at a party just enjoying myself with my friends. There were beautiful women there. One was a super religious, Hispanic, absolutely flagrantly beautiful, calm brunette. The other was an all American, smoking hot girl next door type who also happened to be a reporter for ESPN at the time. Not only did I have more fun at that party than ever, but these two girls fought over me the entire night. Although I guess you could say, after waking up next to the reporter girl, that was the girl who won. I was amazed that this was a real life experience for me. I remember waking up that morning next to this breathtaking girl and thinking, am I dreaming? How did this happen? Because that was a huge milestone for me. And don't get me wrong, sex isn't everything, and I'm a huge supporter of having an amazing connection and relationship with a great woman. But this was extremely significant because I never thought this could happen for me. See, I remember back to my high school days when a girl like this wouldn't just ignore me, she would probably make fun of me. I wouldn't be surprised at all if a girl like this would have joked about me being the biggest loser possible, the absolute bottom of the barrel. I remember the pain of feeling like an absolute outcast, watching as the girls wanted to choose other guys and seemed literally repelled by me, or even the thought of me being attracted to them. And I remember the relationships I had, where even if things started well, I'd eventually end up in a place of desperation and despair. I would either feel like the relationship was headed downward faster and faster, and I had no power to change things, or I would feel like the relationship wasn't a good fit for me, like it was better than nothing, but in my heart, I knew I was set. I remember the depression, the anger and the frustration, and the feeling of utter helplessness when I was forced to think about this part of my life. I would think to myself, why is this like this for me? I'm a good guy. I treat people well. I have good intentions. I try to be the best person I can be. Yet, I feel like my love life just punishes and insults me over and over again. I have to tell you, as someone speaking to you now, I understand the pain of feeling like you aren't good enough to get and or keep the women you want. But I'm here to tell you now that I discovered the way out, and I'm going to show you the way out now too. And once you have it, you'll have it forever, and you'll enjoy the results of having the dating and relationship life you always wanted. Now, the best part is, this isn't something that you need to spend years learning. This isn't college, this isn't writing a thesis paper, and this definitely is not therapy. This is simply one friend to another sharing the most powerful, most effective, most fundamental secret to having the love life you've always wanted with the women or the special woman you choose. Best part is, you'll get to have all the benefits because you'll naturally have what every woman wants in her man. She'll be willing to fight anyone or anything to get it. See, mojo is something that every man has within himself. The question is whether or not he's willing to step up and unlock it, or if he's going to allow circumstances, distractions, or BS to get in the way. Every man has a day when he finds his mojo. Some men are lucky enough to have access to their mojo right from when they're a kid, and their mojo is such a part of their life, they wouldn't know any other way to be. Other men have had a point in their life where they truly had access to their mojo, but somehow they lost their way, and it seemed as though their attractiveness to women just disappeared. Some men get accidental glimpses or experiences where they truly and naturally act with mojo, and they get amazing results with women. but unfortunately, they just don't understand what's happening. And so it seems like it's just luck or a fluke. And if you're like me, you may have already experienced years of heartache, failure, frustration, and confusion, but deep down inside, you've always felt that there's something that you're missing that will finally make the magic happen, finally create the attraction and the relationship you've always wanted, and finally make your life with women effortless and effective. If you're skeptical, I don't blame you. I'm not kidding when I tell you that I fought the first guy to actually tell me about Mojo. My head was filled with all sorts of ideas about attraction, and I was determined to prove that I was right about my ideas about dating and relationships, and that my ideas really worked, even though I had no results to show for myself. First off, this guy had the nerve to tell me that I was making things way too complicated. How dare he? I said to myself, I'm a smart guy, and I knew that if I haven't solved my dating and relationship problem, it had to be because it was an incredibly complex and difficult puzzle to solve. Who cares if I'd seen tons of guys who probably never graduated from high school who were fantastically successful with women? And to be frank, not only did what he had to say sound too simple to possibly work, it sounded too good to be true. How could it be that the ultimate solution to having wild success with women would require me to also love and thoroughly enjoy my life? How could true, unlimited success with women actually inevitably coincide with the opposite of sacrifice? After I spent years studying women, dating, and relationships instead of going out and actually having fun in my life. So when I tell you I was skeptical about Mojo actually working, that's actually an understatement. I was actually determined to prove this guy wrong about Mojo. And so, if you find yourself listening with your arms crossed and rolling your eyes, muttering, okay, put your money where your mouth is, then you have my word that I will, and I will do everything I can to show you the truth that I ironically fought tooth and nail at first, and then learned to love with every fiber of gratitude in my body. So being skeptical is fine. All I ask is you come at this with the same spirit I did, to allow yourself to experience what I'm talking about and what I'm about to reveal to you before drawing any conclusions. One reason that Mojo was so hard for me to accept was that it didn't fit into anything I had experienced or heard before. I kept trying to analyze it and compare it to other things I had experienced so that I could feel like I knew and understood Mojo. That's a mistake because, let's face it, if you already had the answer, you'd already be getting amazing results in your life. The only way to truly understand something new is to experience it. An analogy my friend told me once was that you could read 1,000 books about honey, but it would never compare to the experience of tasting honey for the first time. That's the power of experience and discovery. The more willing you are to experience something in a pure state of discovery, the more quickly you'll get to enjoy the result of having mojo in your life, having the type of relationships you want, having the type of women you want in your life. One thing that can be challenging for the smartest and most successful people is to understand that having mojo isn't like taking a class. It's not like a highly technical trade like being a programmer or engineer. Discovering or rediscovering mojo is a lot like when you were a kid, when you naturally approached everything with an insatiable curiosity and a burning desire to explore. You weren't there to fight or debate or prove yourself right. You were there to experience the world with a sense of wonder and optimism. It's funny that I actually fought this amazing discovery at first, but I was shocked when it changed the entire game for me. This is simple, yet very few men actually get to experience or even see this. Frankly, I didn't believe it for myself until I showed one of my students how to unlock his own mojo, and I watched as this awkward, chubby engineer in his mid-20s transformed himself from a guy that women felt bad for into a man that exuded confidence, respect, and that indescribable presence of cool in under 1 year's time. But most guys just don't get to see the guiding force that truly attracts women to them. I don't know if they're just too brainwashed by modern media, they're too afraid to step out of their familiar prison of their unsatisfactory dating life, or if they just simply haven't stumbled on this core secret. But the important thing is that you are here with me now. I am going to be with you every step of the way on your journey so that you finally get what you've always wanted. I'm going to make some statements here that may seem bold or even shocking to you because they may not be what you currently believe, and they're certainly different than what society teaches you. First, I believe who you really are is an attractive man to women. That might sound crazy if you've experienced years of confusion, frustration, and disappointment with women, but I firmly believe that the true you is very attractive to women. The reason that I can make this assertion is because you're listening to me now. I don't know your personal history, but whatever has led you to this point in your life has caused you to find me and find this information. What this means is that you truly, really want to have the dating relationship life of your dreams. You might not know how to get it yet, but you want it and you are asking to have it in your life. The fact that you stepped up and you are now taking action is proof to me that you are a doer and not some guy waiting for the world to just give you handouts. Second, you may have all sorts of questions about women and your ability to attract them. How do I attract the women I want? What are signs that she's attracted and interested in me? What makes a woman see me as the man that she wants to be with? How do I stay in control of my relationship? How can I trust that she's going to be faithful to me? I don't know how it happened, but somewhere along the line, men in our society have been misled to believe that they need a big bag of tricks in order to address all of these questions. And that for every question, there's a new class of answers, like a different class of requirements to earn a degree in college. I'm here to tell you that the answer isn't in tricks. The answer to all of these questions begins and ends with one thing: your access to your own mojo. See, all of us are special and unique. All of us have mojo within us, waiting to be tapped so that we can realize our full, true potential. I feel honored and privileged to have worked with doctors, lawyers, scientists, theology students, accountants, programmers, engineers, salesmen, social workers, mechanics, plumbers, musicians, performing artists, karate instructors, and I've worked with guys who feel like they're on top of their game and guys who feel like they're total losers at life. I've worked with guys who are the fraternity president and guys who couldn't get into a frat party to save their life. I've worked with guys who have been in a relationship for decades and guys who have never had a girlfriend. And at some point along the line, I've even worked with someone just like you. I want you to know that I have tremendous respect for you for stepping up to claim this part of your life. And I'm honored that you've chosen me to walk alongside you on this journey. My goal is to show you how to tap into the source of your power to attract and have the relationship you've always wanted and have that be your reality. That power is your mojo, and experiencing the power of your mojo in your life is your birthright. I don't know what you picture in your mind when I talk about the dating or relationship life you always wanted. Maybe you want your girlfriend or wife to show you her love more. Maybe you want an amazing girlfriend or wife. Maybe you want to be a high octane bachelor and experience many women so you can discover what you've been missing out on. Whatever it is, you can have it all. I'm here to help you by showing you the secret of unlocking your mojo, which will make it all possible for you. Let's begin. Why mojo? Well, let's talk about the good side of having access to your mojo. Mojo is natural. in that part of you. Mojo creates that lusty, primal, animalistic attraction in her, so she'll want a passionate, physical relationship with you. And Mojo touches her heart. She'll feel that connection to you, be able to completely open to having a loving, enduring relationship with you if that's what you're looking for. With Mojo, you reach her on every level, sexually, emotionally, psychologically, and mentally. You'll be able to effectively communicate to women or anyone what you say will get the message across instead of getting lost in translation. Side benefits of having Mojo is you'll be well liked by the people around you. You'll be a great, effective communicator, and you'll have great relationships where you and the other person is happy and satisfied. Nick and I had a student in our private coaching program who was in his late 20s. On the surface, he had tons of great qualities. He was good looking, tall, in shape, a great dancer, and had all sorts of great stories from his life. The problem was, despite having all these good surface characteristics, things just weren't working for him with women. In fact, he had even spent years studying all sorts of different tricks and tactics to get women, but nothing helped. And in fact, the overload of information just caused him to second guess everything he did and said with women, which ironically made things worse the more that he was studying that material. I remember him saying that he constantly thought about his lack of success with women and that he was dedicated to solving his problem, but it seemed the harder he tried, the worse things got. He said he felt like he was stuck in first gear, and even when he was pressing the pedal to the floor, there was no massive acceleration results. The real problem was that he was focused on the wrong things, false paths that aren't the true source of what makes a man attractive to women in the first place. In fact, many of these things he was doing were poisoning his results. The truth is, if you're aiming at the wrong target, it doesn't matter how hard you work to hit that target. If the target is wrong, you won't get the result that you want. Now, some of the things that he was doing were good, but they were missing a core element. That missing element for him was mojo. Without that element, it was like he was a Ferrari with no gas in the tank, a vehicle with great potential to perform, but no ability to move. When Nick and I showed him how to unlock his mojo, his results changed immediately. He went from not being able to get a number over the course of an evening, despite talking to everyone in the venue, to racking up 10 to 20 minutes a night. Moreover, women began approaching him and wanting to spend more time with him. His coworkers started making passes at him. The change was immediate and miraculous for him because he began tapping into the power that makes him attracted to women, his mojo. When it comes to how women viewed him, the difference to women is massive in terms of attractiveness. To a person who's looking at the wrong things, though, the difference is invisible, which is why so many men never learn the secret of tapping into their own mojo. They can't even see it. I'm going to say something that might be a little offensive here, so let me make clear that